like I said, apologies. We're starting a little late. We've been having some network issues. That's what caused the delay, but it's good we are right on board now. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Savior. So today is the 21st of May 2025. We're having our morning analysis. And today, just 7 a.m. this morning, roughly 15 minutes ago, there was a release of CPI from the United Kingdom, and the data came out good for the British pound. So the next event is coming up by 9 a.m. That is less than 2 hours from now, and it's ECB Financial Stability Review. It's not an event with a tradable data, so we'll just as well ignore it, or better still, just be cautious around the eurozone. I mean the euro peers, because this news is uh, is from the eurozone. So just take caution around euro-based peers around 9 a.m. After that, there's no more fundamental activity for today. Now, if there's no more fundamental activity, the two things could happen. The market could as well be slow or range, because usually it's fundamentals, anticipation of fundamentals, that's what pushes the market. So we may end up having a slow moving market, later today, or better still, some technical setup that has been working since Monday, especially those on swing. It can give them enough room to move as anticipated. So let's go over straight to the chart. Since we don't have any fundamentals to look up to, let's go over to the chart and see what to expect for today. But before we look at what to expect for today on the chart, I also want to give us an update on some of the setup that we analyzed on Monday that has come out exactly according to the analysis that was given. And the first on the list is the USD I remember telling us on Monday that I anticipated a bearish movement on the USD because the dollar index, was having a previous support turned resistance with a rejection candle, and as such, I expected a bearish movement on both the USD CHF and the USD JPY, and that has played out exactly as the analysis I gave on these two instruments. Because USD CHF now has dropped, we can clearly see it on the chart now. It has dropped to the tune of about 90 pips between Monday and now, and currently trying to touch Fibonacci 61.8. I tell you, that's a very, very good move on the USD JPY, I mean CHF. And similarly, USD JPY is also having its own move. I'm trying to search for it. All right, so this is USD JPY. It's equally moving, though it has not moved as much as the USD CHF. Today is 21. Monday was, I think, 19th. Okay, it just broke some key levels. Oh, it has done about 165 pips, but from the tradable region, I think the focus will be more from the tradable region, and it's done some close about some 50 pips, already gone on USD JPY. Let's apply our Fibonacci tool. All right, so it's still trying to target Fibonacci 61.8. So we're seeing some appreciable movement on USD CHF, USD JPY based on the weekly analysis on Monday. And the big one, gold. I remember specifically telling us to get ready for a bullish breakout on gold this week since we were bearish on the dollar. And this is gold. Gold so far from Monday, I said it that gold was forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern, and that region was a neckline. This is the inverse head and shoulder. I remember telling us that we actually expected a breakout from here, but because there wasn't sufficient volatility, there was a retracement, but that we should still expect that bullish breakout, and that happened just like I said. And gold has so far done, let's see, on the average about 600 pips between Monday and this moment as we speak, and currently it's trading at Fibonacci 61.8. That's where it's trading now. This is a very key level. Anything can actually happen here. It's don't forget also that RSI is approaching 70. If the RSI hits 70 while price is still at this 61.8, we might be looking for, possibility of maybe a retracement or a reversal. But that's just not what I'm focused on now. My focus is giving you an update on the pips that has been generated from the analysis on Monday. So I've given you my update on USD CHF, USD JPY gold, and also the CHF pairs. I remember mentioning that the CHF pairs were going to be weak, in terms of as in bearish this week. This is AUDCHF. It's bearish, just in line with analysis, and so far it has done some 30 pips. The same thing, GBP CHF. I really can't remember if I mentioned the GBP CHF, but at least I remember that AUDCHF. This one has done some 34 pips. It is currently retracing back to 16, but with time is going to continue further downwards. And CAT CHF, yeah, I mentioned CAT CHF will be going bearish this week, and this is CAD CHF just going in line with the analysis and has done so far. It has done some 41 pips, and price currently is at Fibonacci 61.8. The thing is this, Fibonacci 50 and 61.8 are actually key levels where price could either retrace or reverse, except if there's a very high level of volatility. That's when price can break beyond this level. So you can see that CAD CHF is at Fibonacci 61.8. Gold is equal at Fibonacci 61.8. So anything can happen. There could be a retracement or reversal for those two. All right, so that's the update I first want to share with us before we go into what we have today. 5 or 6 pairs, you know, gone in line with the analysis that we gave on Monday. So please don't always miss this analysis and let it guide you, which is the most important part. Let it guide you in the course of your trading week. Let me just share this with us. I remember we had a seminar in Lagos, I think in the month of March, and someone walked up to me. He might be on board this morning, I don't know, and it was telling me how in the last 2 years, please take notes, in the last 2 years, every morning it does, especially Monday mornings, it does not miss this weekly analysis that we do, which I, anchor. And whatever analysis I give for Monday is what guides him to trade in the course of the week. He has a busy job schedule, so he doesn't have the time to join all the other analysis in the week, but it does not miss Monday morning analysis. And it trades exactly in line with the analysis given and is been very profitable in the market. In fact, the shocking part is that the man went to his bag and brought out his jotter, and it showed me how it, when I talk about this analysis, Euro USD CHF is going to sell because of this and this reason. I'm seeing this on the weekly, daily, 4 hour. This man wrote it down. He wrote it down in his jotter, and he showed me. He had a small paper jotter like sticker, and he showed me several of it where he wrote those analysis. And the most shocking part on each of those analysis, he even put my name. I saw dates back to 2023, 2025, 2024, specific dates, taking note of these things. So I want to encourage us. These things work. We've done the analysis for you. We've cut large, how do I really put it? We've put the framework for you to catch the fish. You can just use this to make cool money for yourself. And if you want it a little easier also, don't forget the 5X program is on. The 5X program is a special signal group. It's not a regular one. It's completely different from a regular signal group where you can times 5 your accounts within the space, of a month or just around a little above over a month. And it kicked off yesterday with quality signals. If you want to be a part of this 5X program, we are not charging you for it. We are not charging for signals. All you need is to have to fund an account. Now you may need to do a fresh funding of account for this one. So if you say, oh, but I have an account with this in January, no, it's not going to work. You need to do a fresh funding to be a part of this program. So there it's pure signals. What we do here is analysis. Here we drop 1 or 2 signals, but there in that group it's pure signals, and you're going to have a whole lot of it. So don't miss out on the opportunity to be a part of the 5X program. All right, so let's go to what we have for today. Now today I'll be looking at the GBP USD. GBP USD is what is one of the instruments I'm
Hello, hello,
putting.
good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Please, I just came in here. I'm hearing about 5S and something. What is it all about?
All right, 5x is a special signal program that can turn your account to times five of what you have.
What is the
And
minimum amount to get on board?
I think you should speak with account manager, but I think it's just around $100. But speak with
Okay.
account manager, yeah.
Why is it any time frame for expiration date or something?
Well, we just get the signal, depending on the strategy that we're using. So it depends. We have different analysts right here at PU Prime. We have day traders, we have scalpers, we have swing traders, but we'll let you know whichever type of signal it is. Yours is just, and the thing is that it's so transparent. We'll give you the specific lot size to also use. You have the
Mm.
entry price, the take profit, the stop loss, the specific lot size, for your account. So if you are having $1,000 account, we'll give you the lot size you can use. If you're having a $500 account, we'll give you the lot size you can use also. So,
Okay. Is there
yeah.
is there anywhere I can be attached to you for you to be my analyst? Because you are the one we really know.
Okay, what do you mean being your analyst? I'm already an analyst now.
As in, we'll be on that. If you say you have different analysts now, we have swing, you have that, we have that.
Oh,
What you just said.
okay. In that signal group, yeah, I'll be posting there, but other analysts from PU Prime also be posting there. So it's not just me alone.
Okay, it's a collective and something.
Collective, yes, and I
Oh,
can assure
okay.
you of top-notch quality signals.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for the information.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, Benedicta, how can we join the 5X program? I believe you mean I already fund an account for it. Okay, if you already funded an account for it, please reach out to your account manager. Your account manager will complete the process for you. All right, so let's go.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, ma.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma.
Please, do you also give exit signal for the
Yes,
5X?
yeah, there's a
Okay.
stop loss. A stop loss.
Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
you're welcome, ma. Okay, I was talking about GBP UST. All right, price seems to be trading around. I think it's going beyond what I saw earlier. There was a rejection candle on 4 hour, but it looks like market event has overtaken it. So I think we just need to ignore this until further. Yeah, that was a rejection candle for me there earlier before the class. All right, let's ignore the GBP USD for now. Let's look at other pairs that could be tradable. All right, I'm looking at XRP. I think it's one of the, I can't remember, but I think I mentioned it on Monday. The market, because of the setup for the week, we're not having much intraday setup. I mentioned that on Monday. Most of the setup that I saw, at least by my own style this week, was more of swing. And this is XRP. It's still likely going to be a swing. For XRP, price is trading around a previous support, sorry, previous resistance, turn support with rejection candles. And in the real sense of it on the daily time frame, we have a series of rejection candles all around this region. That's more like a kind of a range. But then that area also now happens to, be a confluence point with the higher lows that we're finding right here on the trend line, which, coincides with this region. So technically, we'll be looking at buying the XRP on the 4 hour time frame. I mean, yeah, this is the daily. We'll switch over to 4 hour to find confirmation. Now, on the 4 hour, what I'm seeing is the formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which will lead to a trigger in the bullish direction on the XRP. XRP is a Ripple, is a cryptocurrency, and is one of the cryptocurrencies that has been adopted by the United States government as a reserve currency in the US. So a lot of activity is really expected on this instrument, especially under this President Trump, Donald Trump administration. So this is the neckline region for the inverse head and shoulder pattern. Now it looks as if price has broken the neckline, but then we need to still be careful because RSI has not clearly broken above 50. It's just around 51, which is not what we can use for now. So I will suggest we wait for a clearer breakout of the RSI, and that may happen more when price breaks out more, above the current level we have on the XRP. So I think I'll be looking at price breaking out. Let's take our line from this region. Let there be a clear breakout, preferably above this resistance zone. Let there be a okay. Please let's mute our devices. Let there be a clear breakout above this region. So once the new candle is able to break out above here, then we will see a further bullish breakout on the XRP, and we'll be looking at profits.
Sir,
Yeah.
what is this candle? What is this candle video? What is this candle?
Now, just let your voices be muted for now, please. All right, so we'll be expecting price to break out above that region for a bullish breakout on XRP. And we'll be looking at profit in the region of Fibonacci 50 and possibly Fibonacci 61.8. All right, so let's watch out for that possibly in the course of today. All right, Mr. Gushola is saying I should check gold and BTC. Okay, we check that. So let me check gold. I really don't have much set up on my own because market seems to be going more in the direction of the already established swing setup that we saw at the beginning of the week. All right, like I said earlier, for gold, gold is actually trading at a very critical level at the moment. Yes, normally the setup, the inverse head and shoulder, could see price rather push up beyond the current level. All right, so we have, like I said, an inverse head and shoulder, and price has broken. So the level where price is at the moment is a critical level where price could, if price breaks out above this level, then we'll look for a retest and a continuation. Yeah, that's a possibility. Or otherwise, there could just be a reversal from this region. So I will advise to be very, very cautious with gold for now. It's not yet a time to take any trade on gold. So what we can do on gold for now is to wait for the next line of action, either a breakout or retest, which we can look out for on the 1 hour time frame. We can look for a breakout, a retest, and a continuation, or better still, a reversal. So just hold on with gold for now until further notice, until there's clarity on the next move of gold. BTC is not also so clear at the moment. Price is still trading around this resistance zone on the daily time frame. Now, if price is able to hit the upper part, especially of this rejection candle, we may be looking out for a reversal. So price is still trading within this setup. So anything will happen in that within the setup. It may hit the upper part, or it could reverse right from within this current resistance zone. So what we can just do, let's go down to 1 hour. Most of these things are not even aligning, so let me just ignore it for now. Let's go down to 15 minutes and see if we can get any good setup on 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes too is not so clear, but let's see if a channel will work. Okay, so let's just leave it as a channel and watch, what happens. But the most important thing is that price could reverse within this pattern, though it will be better possibly if price can, hit this resistance. That will give more clarity. Then we can now anticipate a drop. But either ways, we are bearish on BTC USD, so we need to just exercise patience and see if price will hit that resistance, and we can look for a bearish movement from there. All right, AUD and GBP Now these are two pairs that also have a bearish, outlook, just like some of the other ones I've mentioned earlier. We only need to watch for a clear entry on both of them. Now this is AUD from my analysis at the beginning of the week. If we go to the weekly, let me clear it all and start again. And because it's really working out as planned, only it's been a bit slow. Now, from the weekly outlook, there is a previous support. Okay, it's up here. There's a previous support turned resistance. This old zone, this is a support turned resistance here with a rejection candle. So that is an indication of a possible, bearish movement on the AUD This is on the weekly time frame, and let's see if we can still draw a trend line. Yeah, we also have a trend line that is pointing us in the bearish direction, just like the support on resistance. So we have a confluence, and there's equally rejection candle there. So if we zoom down to 4 hour, on the 4 hour time frame, this is what we have. On one side, if we want to use this, it's valid, and we should not forget this is like a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and we anticipate a drop. Now we can also see that there seems to be a kind of a support around this area. Price seems not to be breaking that support yet, so we need to also take note of that area, preferably from here. So in other words, if price is able to break out below this support zone, then we will see a bearish movement on the AUD JPY. And our confirmation on RSI is already below 50. MACD is already below 0. So a lot of the things we look out for is already set. Only we're waiting for a clear breakout below this current support zone to trigger a sell on AUD Now this is still a swing setup, so if you're there, you're a swing trader, don't sleep on this. Every 4 hour you can keep checking the charts to know if price has broken below that support zone. So now time is just 7:39 a.m. By 10 a.m. you can check is a new candle. When we talk about price breaking, what we mean is a new candle opening below that support zone that I just indicated. So once the new candle opens below it, that's a time for you to trigger a sell on the AUD JPY. And similarly, GBP JPY is another one to watch out for. And for GBP JPY, it's still similar. Okay, it's a little different, but still in the same direction. Last week candle closed as a rejection candle on the weekly time frame. Not only that, there was a resistance level. So we have a resistance and a rejection candle. And finally, we also have a descending trend line where price is bouncing off the trend line. So generally we have a bearish outlook on the GBP JPY. So if you flip down to the 4-hour time frame, this is what we'll have. All right, we have price trading within the channel, and you can see price is gradually breaking out, below the channel. But then there's still that region, just like we saw on the AUD JPY. We still need to respect the fact that there's a kind of a range around this area. So once a new candle breaks out below this range, then we'll have a free bearish movement on the GBP JPY. So I'm still bearish on both the AUD JPY and the GBP JPY. Okay, I think we're done. If anybody has any other requests, you can drop it in the group. Don't forget we have physical training at our offices in Abuja and Lagos tomorrow, Thursday. Time for the Lagos office is 11 a.m. Abuja office is 10:30 a.m. The address for the Lagos office is Lagos Executive Business Lounge at 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Time again is 11. And if you live around Abuja and its environ, the address is P Prime Africa Walk and Connect Building, 50 Ebitu Okiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. Debbie, USDCHF. I think USDCHF has done what we anticipated it would do for the week. For me, I think I just want to stay out. But let's just check it just like you requested. All right. So USDCHF just hit Fibonacci 61.8 rather, which is equally acting like a support level. But then let me check the daily time frame. From this region, anything could happen. Price may, I'm not giving a signal on this though, but we could see either a retracement, or if there's volatility, it could continue. So USD CHF gold, they are all at a critical level where price could go in either direction. We just have to wait patiently and see the next move of the market. If price breaks, if it still goes ahead, the overall trend is still bearish. Let's not forget that. If price breaks below this the Fibonacci level, it will retest rather and continue, and we could as well get a reversal. So at this point now, that we can't take a decision. We just have to wait and see what price is going to do. So for me, USD CHF is just an instrument to just stay on the side and watch the next thing that will happen to it. And Debbie is asking me to check EuroCAD. The key instrument I'm looking at for today is actually that XRP. That's the setup I'm watching closely for today, and that's a Ripple. All right, so this is a EuroCAD. Now, in the real sense of it, for this EuroCAD, I'm watching it closely because possibly because of okay, today is 21, maybe not this month, maybe next month or anytime soon, there's going to be a massive bearish breakout on EuroCAD that can generate close to, let me check. It may take some time, but it's a long-term setup which I'm watching, and I'm watching it very closely. Because on the monthly time frame, we can clearly see that price is actually trading is actually in the range on the monthly, but that's actually a big one. You can't compare monthly range to daily range and 1 hour range. This one is monthly kind of a range. And on the weekly time frame, this instrument actually is trying to form a head and shoulder pattern. And if this, works out, then we'll be getting ready to see a massive bearish breakout, a very massive one. If it's all things being equal, if things work out as planned, and on the minimum, price may target this support level over here. Like I said, this is a long-term setup which I'm still watching. It is yet to materialize, but that's the setup I'm seeing. I'm seeing a head and shoulder forming there on the weekly. And so on the daily, we may be getting ready for a reversal anytime soon. This is the neckline of that head and shoulder pattern. So price may reverse any moment. For now, there's no setup. I'm not seeing any short term or intraday setup on this. All I'm seeing is that big picture. Price may go up a little, then break out downwards. So if you want to trade Euro card, I would suggest you look more for bearish opportunities. Don't look for bullish trade on Euro card for now, because anything you see bullish is going to be maybe short term, and reversal will occur. And if it reversal occurs and price breaks, that neckline region, at least, sorry, it will target this first support. It will target this first support zone, and that can be to the tune of about seven, at least on the average, about 700 pips. That's on the minimum that we can target. When that happens, it's easier to happen, but that's the big picture. That's a long-term move. So for now, don't look for an opportunity to buy Eurocard, rather look for an opportunity to sell. Now, for the person asking, currently it looks like it's trying to do some bearish thing, but it's not too clear. I'm trying to see if I can get a resistance, but it has gone beyond resistance point. It has gone beyond the resistance. There was a resistance here earlier, but this current candle has broken that resistance level. The only other thing I can do now is, okay, I can still draw a trend line here. All right, so this is what I would suggest you do. You can see the current 4-hour candle is looking like a rejection candle. Anything can happen between 9 and 10, but by 10 o'clock, if this candle is still maintained as a rejection candle, we may have the possibility of a reversal. So what I will advise that person to do is, if by 10 o'clock that maintains a rejection candle, you can flip down to the 15 minutes time frame, and on the 15 minutes we have this trend line here, and a second one to form a rising wedge. So we may look for an opportunity for a reversal, for a breakout, but that's until 10 o'clock. So that's what I would advise you to look out for, all things being equal. Wait till 10 o'clock, confirm you have a rejection candle, then flip down to 15 minutes time frame and look at this setup I'm drawing now, which is a rising wedge. Price may end up doing a shoulder ahead, a second shoulder, then a drop. So that's the only thing I'm seeing around Eurocard for now. So the person asking that, who is that? Debbie. Maybe you watch this video again and let it guide you as to what to do. Okay, we don't have much today. Market is a bit quiet, so I think we need to end the analysis here. I've given the announcement. Lastly, 5x is on. Reach out to your account manager to be a part of what is happening. All right, we'll end the analysis here. The link to this video will be dropped in your WhatsApp group. Please watch it over again. This is actually an educative segment we do every morning to guide you as to what to look out for in the market. So take advantage of it. Watch the video again. Get an understanding of how to trade with this style. And I tell you, your trading will improve. I can assure you of that. All right, we'll see again. Don't forget, by 12:30 we'll have the afternoon session analysis. Do join us at that time also. All right, do have a great day. Bye bye.